Hey there, welcome back to some Remnant. Today we're going to be doing a mod build using the Echo of the Forest amulet. It's an amulet that basically doubles the cast of your relic. So what will happen is when we activate a relic, it's going to give us a buff that lasts for 15 seconds. And then at the end of those 15 seconds, it's going to recast our relic. Or basically like recast all the benefits that we got from it, right? So, since this is a nice little horde fight, we activate it now. And then you'll notice that we have a whole bunch of buffs going across the bottom, right? And now, when that 15-second one, there's got 9 seconds left now. Once that goes away, it's going to recast it, right? And the whole idea of this build is for me to utilize the relic that I have on here, which is a Ruined Heart, which gives us 500 mod power over 10 seconds with some health regeneration. I activate it, it allows me to spit a bunch of mods out, and then after the 15 seconds is up, it recasts it, allowing me to get another 10 seconds of a bunch of mod power. And in addition to that is the fact that the amulet, it doesn't just duplicate what your relic is doing, right? It's not just like, oh, the Ruined Heart effects are getting recast. It's also every other like on relic use effect. So for example, right, we have the Archon on. The Archon gives us mod power on our relic use. And we have Alchemist on as well. The Alchemist gives us a some kind of random buff as well. It's going to recast all of that. And then I have 2 rings on that increase mod damage, increase elemental damage, and it recasts both of those things. So it's literally all effects that happen when you cast or use your relic, which is pretty cool. Like, there's some pretty neat ideas you could run with. Like, I kind of just went pretty simple right here with, like, just get a lot of mod power using the Ruined Heart and then get some mod and elemental damage going. But if you wanted, I was doing a support one, and I was using the Crystal Heart. No, not Crystal Heart. Blooming Heart, right? No, Blooming. I still got Pulsing Heart. Jeez, right? This is the Blooming Heart. This is the Crystal Heart. No, the Pulsing Heart does that AoE heal when you use it. And so I was using that, and the effect on it lasts for 15 seconds, with a pulse coming out like every 3 seconds. And I had a bunch of minions. I had a dog. I was doing multiplayer. And so for 15 seconds, I'm doing an AoE heal, except then the amulet makes it cast again. So it's 30 seconds each use of my relic, and it's AoE healing for everybody around me, which has been pretty fun. I tried to dodge there, and oh my lord, I'm messing all this up. Yeah, but see, you'll notice my choice in mods right now are the are elemental ones. So since my rings are giving me elemental and mod damage, I wanted to choose mods that do damage and give me or do elemental damage, because then I'm actually like utilizing all the effects of my ring. Now, as far as like actually like when to use your relic to get the effects of it, you don't have to use it that much. Like, I've only used it once so far, and you can see I've had no problem just clearing out the little guys. We're playing on Apocalypse. I have Archon as my primary, so because I'm a sucker for that like passive mod generation. Like, I just really like it. And with feedback on the Voltaic Rondour giving me mod power back, on it dealing damage, with failsafe for Witchfire, like, I'm having no problems really just like using the mods and like alternating between them as I go through a dungeon. I really just save the relic use for when I have some kind of elite thing going on, maybe a big horde of enemies or a boss. And that's basically the idea, right? And as after the relic and then the amulet, there's kind of some flexibility in what you might want to use. Now, I put on 2 rings that increase my damage because, I mean, of course, our amulet is not actually adding any damage, right? Unless you count the effects that we're getting from our archetypes, because some archetypes give you bonus damage when you activate your relic. For example, the Challenger gives you a 10% damage increase. The Gunslinger gives you a range damage increase. So like using them with your relic can increase your damage. But then a lot of the other ones don't actually, like the Archon doesn't. It just gives you more mod power. The Alchemist one doesn't necessarily. It can, but like right now we're getting a damage increase or damage reduction increase. So it really depends on what you've got going on. And once I clear out these guys, I'll actually show you everything that I've got equipped. Oh, there's a crazy dude here. We're going to get this rolling. Use our relic now, because there's an aberrant guy. And so now, oh, he's an explodey dude too. So, I mean, really, we're not going to have any issues with this. We just kind of dodge around that, pull out another Witchfire, and then we just play safe. Now, I chose to use Alchemist because I wanted to, and I wanted to use the Elixir of Life. Partly because I know I wanted to use the Chaos Gate, which makes us take a lot of damage. And sometimes, you know, I went just kind of a little more like vulnerable as far as my whole setup goes. And so I wanted something that could like cover any of my mistakes if I decide to, you know, mess up. Yeah, so here it is. Archon as a primary. We've got Chaos Gate going on. Alchemist right here with Elixir of Life. I should mention that using the Challenger would actually be pretty solid because Challenger is just a flat damage increase. Like the Alchemist, it just relies on you getting close, which a lot of enemies get in your face. But when you do use your Relic, it does give you another 10% damage increase and 2 stacks of Bulwark for enemies within range of you. So, you know, that would be a very solid choice since you are getting lots of effects for using your Relic. After that, right, here's the Echo of the Forest. Gives us that Gift of the Forest buff. Jewel of the Beholden is going to increase our mod damage by 15% for 15 seconds. The Dark Sea Armada increases our elemental damage by 15% for 15 seconds. And note that this one says all elemental damage, not just our mod. So, like, I have the Sparkfire shotgun on, which means that it's increasing that gun's damage as well. So depending on what you're using, that'll do some more for you. I went ahead and put the encrypted ring on because this gives us mod or health whenever we use a mod power, and because the Ruined Heart doesn't give us a ton of health back on youth, we're using a lot of mods, so this can actually cover some of the weakness of this thing's like healing, right? And then the Red Ring of Death is just being very strong with our setup here because we don't apply a bunch of status effects. Like we've got some single, like pretty hard hitting ones, so duplicating them works out pretty well. Depending on what you want to do, swapping it out for some other generic like status elemental one could work out pretty well. Maybe you do want to like double up on some mod power generation, so use Spirit Stone, Cataloger's Jewel, or something else that gives you mod power. Kind of whatever you want at that point, right? Mod cost, mod damage, elemental damage. As far as my like traits go, nothing fancy going on here. I did max out Amplitude because it kind of helps with Voltaic Rondor and some of the other mods that we're using. And then Triage Regrowth, Kinship definitely because I was really messing myself up here and there. And then Glutton I found is kind of nice too because like since we are reliant on using our Relic for some bonuses, being able to get it out a little bit faster is nice as well. So I would probably recommend that. Oh, look how the lightning orb actually hit guys below us in the little chamber underneath. I've never seen it do that before. We can actually totally... Oh, let's use our Relic here. Why not, right? Because we can. Lightning Ball. And then going to start charging up pretty quick, especially because it has feedback. Another Lightning Ball. Get ready for another Lightning Ball. Boom. And look, we're about to get our Gift of the Force proc, which is a bunch of mod power straight off the bat. And then, you know, we're generating another 500 mod power. So, like, when you set up right, you can just spit a lot of mods out. And I mean, I'm a sucker for Voltaic Rondor, so that's just my choice right now. So, kind of whatever you want to use, as long as, in my opinion, mod damage and elemental damage. Also, look at this. We got the Experimentalist one to give us a 5% increase to damage. Now, the problem with that one, right, that buff here lasts for 60 seconds. You can't override it, and you can't duplicate, like, multiple buffs. So, really, us recasting our Relic with the Echo of the Forest is not helping us with that one. So, that's a little frustrating. Another cool interaction, too, is if you revive an ally with the, with your Relic, that will actually activate the Gift of the Forest effect from your ring amulet from that. So if you didn't really get to like get the benefits, oh lordy, you will actually get them going in just a moment. He's a teleporter, of course he is. Whoop. I am just all over the place right now, man. Oh, he's elemental resist. That was a quick double teleport. We're just gonna open the door so we can get out of here. That was really sloppy on my part. Yeah, so I mean, you revive a teammate, even though you're not getting a lot of the benefits, right? Like, I don't remember if it triggered some of the damage rings or not. But you could revive your teammate, and then after 15 seconds, if you haven't used your relic again, it's then going to proc it on its own. So then you can get healing effects, all your other bonuses that are happening as well, which is pretty nice. Now, I should note that if you have that effect going, right, your Gift of the Forest is about to, finish counting down, it's about to like proc. If you use your relic again, it's going to reset that timer. It's not like, oh, it keeps that first initial cast and then that one's going to end and recast it. No, it resets it, puts it at a whole new 15 seconds. And so that can be a little frustrating at times because you're not really getting the full benefit at that point. And that's just kind of an unfortunate thing with whatever you're trying to do, right? Now, you might be kind of wondering, too, why aren't you using Invoker? Because Invoker would be just kind of a perfect choice, right? Increasing our elemental damage. All our damage that we're really doing is elemental. And it's just a super strong archetype. The relic use part of it, I think it just extends stuff. Let me double check. Extends the duration of your Invoker stuff. And increase relic use speed when your Invoker skill is active. So, right, you could throw out your skill and then, wait a few seconds and then, cast your relic. It'll come out faster and then increase its duration. 15 seconds go by and then, recast it again so that you're, again, increasing the duration of your skill. So that could totally be an option. And, I mean, with the elemental damage and stuff that it does, is a pretty good choice. But, like, I mean, I was doing, some random quick play things the other night. And, I mean, it was just like... It was every single person I saw was using the, Invoker. And I was just like, all right, like, I get it. It's really good. Because I enjoy using it, too. It's really fun. But I was just kind of tired of seeing it over and over again. So that's why I ended up going Alchemist. Ready to teleport to way over there. Oh, we can teleport that way. Yeah, I can definitely tell just from this dude. One, him being in our face is kind of dangerous. Him teleporting is pretty friggin' annoying because I can't tell where the heck to send my mods. But he's also elemental resistance, which is really messing me up too because we should be doing more damage. But of course, we're not. Dang it, dude. I'm messing it up bad. But I mean, I guess kind of like any build, right? I think the two main things you need to worry about if you're doing this build and you fight like a boss, elemental resist and then empathy. Like if a dude has empathy going on, that's going to cause you some problems because you need your relic to really like double it. Like that's the whole point of the amulet. So if you got a dude with empathy, you're probably going to have some problems. You could apply bleeds and that, like, from what I understand, it properly reduces how much healing the enemies get now. So it should like kind of cut that effect, but still, it'll be kind of unfortunate. I don't know why he keeps teleporting over there. It's really friggin' annoying, though. I'll tell you that. Ricochet. Why does he keep going down there? I mean, I guess good on him. He's just burning to death, but, like, still. Well, we did it that time. Just lob a bunch of lightning balls across the room, dude, and then let them clear it out. That's kind of satisfying. Alright, now because we're going to fight Legion, he flies around, which means Witchfire isn't going to do much of anything against him, right? So I went ahead and put Firestorm in there, which is not one I normally use, really. But, I mean, honestly, with all of the status, or not status, yeah, kind of status effect things, but the, elemental damage, mod damage things, Chaos Driver could be kind of okay, It doesn't necessarily do a ton of damage on its mod. The Explosive Shot can do some monstrous damage and a lot of burning damage as well. A Nano Swarm with Nebula is always fantastic, but I see that one so much, right? But we're going to give Firestorm a chance because I just don't ever use Firestorm anymore. Because that was another one, similar to like how I feel about Invoker right now. Firestorm was one I would join random people and I would just see it like all the time. And so it kind of left a sour taste in my mind. I mean, not that I dislike it and stuff, but I kind of get this thing in my head where I'm like, all right, I see everybody using it. Like, let's do something else, right? But let's see how this goes. Turn away. Activate this now. Boop. Orb. Boom. Boom. There we go. Oh, of course he's elemental resist. Why wouldn't he be elemental resist? But we can just kind of lob lightning balls at him, and maybe the fire tornado will keep enemies away from us. And then we'll just keep lobbing lightning balls every few seconds when it charges up, and then let that do work. There we are. We can just go ahead and use another relic now. Why not? We're just going to keep popping relics, eating them like candy, like little Tic Tacs. Are Tic Tacs still a thing? They have to still be a thing. I haven't seen Tic Tacs in ages, but I don't really look for them anymore. But yeah, this is doing pretty well. I mean, you spit out enough firestorms, it's gonna do the job for you, right? He keeps going across a thing. We're just gonna kind of ricochet that off the ground. Maybe that'll do something. This is part of why having a kinship is so nice, because you can just not die to your own stuff, right? Obviously. But this is going pretty well. As far as my Legion fights go, pretty reasonable, because we can just lob these effects out here, and then we don't have to look at this guy at all, right? And we're set to go. Easy day, no problem, right? The build is solid. I like it. I'm a little squishy right now, right? Like, I've got a medium load. I mean, 46% damage reduction, and that's with Fortify as well. But, you know, depending on how you want to do things, especially if you swap this out for Challenger, it gives you the strong back, so you can wear a full set of heavy armor, even run Lido's Mark II, and then have the Fortify on top of it, so you're pushing, what, like 60% damage reduction, I think? It's been a while since I've done it. But it could actually make you a lot more durable, you know, so you could do something like that instead. I mean, and what I could be doing too, right? Part of the Alchemist, what's it do is it makes your consumables last longer. And since I have points in Glutton, I could actually be using consumables and have them last a while and like be able to activate them quickly because of those points in Gluttony. But on the whole, build's fun. It's fun to use it with relics, you know, the Echo of the Forest, or whatever, Gift of the Forest, Echo of the Forest. It's fun to use that and like double up on some of your relic things. You know, you just have to look at like what benefits are you getting when you activate said relic. And so some fun ones that I have enjoyed, and I want to do some build things with them. I mean, Crystal Heart could kind of work. It's a 10-second thing, so there's a 5-minute in delay, I guess, in, you know, gap in between there. The Diverting Heart was kind of cool because it doesn't heal you, but it gives you skill cooldowns 1 second per second, lasting for 15 seconds. So on each use, it's just 30 seconds of reducing your skill cooldowns by another 30 seconds. So that was kind of fun when I was messing around with that. You know, Pulsing Heart, like I said, 30 seconds of just AoE heals for you and whoever else you got going on. Same thing here. You know, this lasts for 20 seconds, so it's, you know, you kind of lose out in 5 seconds, but still, it's, you know, it's going to end up being 35 seconds of no stamina drain, healing on dodges. You know, I'm already using it with the Runed Heart. The Resonating Heart, again, kind of the same thing with Quilted Heart because it lasts over 15 seconds, but you can get the big double heal, you know, overheal, so you got big regen over 20 seconds, and then it activates again, and then you're healing up again. So I think that could be pretty fun. The, you know, this one is also 15 seconds, so it's perfect overlay. I would like to try it with Tormented Heart. I have not tried to do that yet, but you could, like, use it, and then, you know, it explodes, dealing damage, and then 15 seconds, it's another explosion to deal more damage. You know, it's hard to control whether that's going to be helpful or not, but, I mean, it's something you could do. You know, 15 seconds on this, you get 30 seconds, shields for, you know, a longer period of time, etc. So I think there's some fun things you could do with it. The one amulet I would compare it to would be the Servine Keepsake. So on relic use, you gain a stack of Call of the Doe. For 30 seconds, you can stack it 5 times. Now, that Call of the Doe increases your movement speed and for each stack, and then when it expires, you gain a relic charge per stack. So basically what it means is, as long as you don't like use more than 5 relics within like 30 seconds, you're going to be able to basically keep regaining all your relic charges. So like this one, you consume your relic charges, and it basically gives you a faster effect. That, to me, that's like the biggest difference. This one, you can keep getting your like more rapid effect out of your relics because every 15 seconds, where this one there's kind of a longevity to it, right? You can really sustain the relic use without actually using something like the medic, because that's another way you could use this is with the medic, so that you're getting those back-to-back uses on your relics, and then if you're healing guys, you're getting those charges back, so you could actually truly be using your relic kind of non-stop and getting tons and tons of benefits. Well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Give you some food for thought and all that stuff. Thank you guys for watching. I always really appreciate it when you guys do, you know. And yeah, until the next one, take care.